Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Be Well Live. My name is Kim, and today I am here to do a very short, brief session on Learn to Run. Just a disclaimer, we are not going running today. A, I'm not coordinated enough to hold the camera and run straight. B, it's a little bit too warm, and C, I already ran this morning, so that's off my list of things to do. So what I'm going to do is I am going to kind of give you some tips and tricks to get started. And this is all part of our Learn to Run series, which is actually going to start next Monday, so Monday, May 31st. It is an email-only program, unfortunately, just due to COVID. I wish we could run in person together, but we will do an email-only program, and you can register in the link in our bio or at our website, senecasting.ca. And at the end of that, about 6 weeks after that, we do have a 5K, 10K challenge running for Seneca. So this is a good way if you're a goal-oriented person and you want to learn how to run and you want to finish it off with a big run at the end. There's a 5K or a 10K option for that. So for the Learn to Run program, running is something that comes easy for others. Really difficult for some, but it is really a labor of love, and it's something that I can say over the last, what are we now at, 14 months, almost 15 months, I've really started to invest some time and some patience into running, and I've grown to really love it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some tips that I used to get going and get running many years ago, but what I've come back to in the last year and a bit to actually improve my pace, improve my distance, and improve my time. All right, so here's what you need for learning to run. Sometimes it can be easy. For some people, you can just open the door and out you go, off you're running. But for others, you do need that kind of planned approach to it. So the first thing you need to do is you need to create a schedule. We all have busy lives, and learning to run does take time. It's something that, you do have to block a little bit of time in your day to fully investigate and fully commit to. So what you usually do is you find a time that's going to be good for you. Everyone's going to be differently. I'm an early morning person. If I don't do my exercises first thing in the morning, I know they won't get done the rest of the day because the day accumulates. And at the end of the night, I am not going out for a 5K run. I'm too tired. I just don't want to do it. So, but the other thing is, if you're not a morning person, if you're one of those people that hit snooze 15 times before you get out of bed, booking a running session at 6 o'clock in the morning probably isn't going to be worth your while as well. It's something that you have to find time within your day, which you know is going to work. But at the same time, you do have to be flexible. Life happens around you. It could be schoolwork. It could be a group member has quit on you and all of a sudden you have to pick up the slack. You get called into work. All of that stuff is going to compound as well, but you still have to be in the space to do some running. And when you do create the schedule, you have to remember it's not just the run. There's the warm-up, there's the run part itself, and then there's the cool down, and most importantly, the stretch afterwards, or you're not going to make that next run. For the Learn to Run program, you want to try and do this about 2 to 3 times a week. So it is a huge amount of time that you do have to book off. So maybe a weekend is a better time as well, or a day when you know you don't have as much going on. All right, so now that you've got the schedule, you need a route. So for a 5K, what you want to do is you want to get out there and you want to map a 5K route. So there's a few ways you can do that. The old school way, hop in a car and drive 5 kilometers around the block to figure it out. The kind of new school way is with your phone. So going out for a walk and setting a GPS on your phone, and you can do that a couple different ways through apps as well. So there's a couple apps out there, Map My Run through Under Armour, there is Strava, and there's also the Pacer Health app. Those 3 apps are available on iOS and Android. You can download them for free at the App Store, whatever your store you have. And then you can set them up on your phone and you can set the GPS and you can go out and you can figure out how far that 5K is or that 10K, whatever you're trying to go for. And then and you have that mapped, you can walk it a few times. And when you're doing that, what you're looking for is you're looking for hills, you're looking for declines. What kind of ground are you on? So are you running on asphalt on the road? Are you running on cement on the sidewalk? Are you on a trail? Are you on a track? So if you find your local high school has a track, which is 400 meters, perfect. But all of those different things that you're running on does play into your run as well. So now that you've figured that out, the other thing you need to look for, traffic. Are there traffic lights? Do I have to cross through a major intersection? How many cars are on the road when I'm trying to run if I'm running on the road? How busy is it with pedestrians? So I know on my route, anywhere between 10 to 7, running is ridiculous right there. Pandemic walk. I know I just lost the internet, it came back. So I have to do that early in the morning when there's no one around. All right, traffic lights, is it safe? Is it going to be safe for you? So if you physically don't feel safe walking through the neighborhood, I wouldn't suggest running through the neighborhood as well. So are there street lights if you're running in the evening or early in the morning? Are there, wide open spaces where there's not going to be any alleys or dark corners? And do you just feel safe overall? That is the important thing. Is it highly traveled? Are you going to run into other runners? Which is great because then you get to know one another as well. And then the next thing, just continue to walk that route and get to know it and then start running on it. The other thing is you want exit routes. So with mine, when I'm running on my route, I have about 4 or 5 exit routes just in case I'm not feeling well, in case of injury, in case something has happened where I'm not feeling safe and I can get out of there quickly and get back to my house. I always carry my cell phone with me as well. It goes into a strap on my arm. That way I know I can phone for help if I need it. But I do have those exit routes just as an extra thing. Finally, one thing I want you to do with your route, share it with a friend, someone you trust. Don't share it on the internet. I advise against that. Even if you are, when you get down the road and you're doing certain runs, do not share your route on the internet at all. That way people know where you are, especially if it's not on a safe thing, but share your route with a trusted friend just in case something goes wrong. They know where you are. They know how long it's going to take you. Generally, your run time, if it takes you 60 minutes to walk that 5K, your run time is probably going to be about 30 to 45 minutes, so people know when to expect you back. So that is your route. All right, the next thing is shoes. My clipboard fell over. Shoes. We talked about this a little bit this morning. Shoes are probably the most important piece of equipment that you need for running. Spend some money on it. Don't go and pick a $10 pair off the rack. Unless they're a really good deal on Nikes. You want to spend some time, invest some money, and really go after a good pair of shoes. It's going to save your feet, it's going to save your knees, your ankles, and it's probably going to improve your run and you're going to get the most out of it. So when you're doing shoes, always make sure that you are trying them on in the evening, especially if you're an evening runner. Your legs swell during the day, and if you go first thing in the morning, try them on, they may not fit for you. You want function over fashion. Okay, everyone likes the sparkly shoes, but if they're hurting your feet, get rid of them and find something better. Okay, ask for deals. So if you go to some of these stores, especially like the Running Room, they have runners clubs. It costs you $20 a year, but you probably get 10% off every purchase that you make. You make that back in time. Don't buy the wrong size. If you have big feet, just admit it. I have big feet. I am not ashamed. I do buy men's shoes just because my feet are large and they're wide, unfortunately. I will never, ever, ever try to force my feet into a women's pair of shoes again because all it did was hurt my toes while I was running. And always measure your foot too. Different brands have different sizing. I know the difference between Reebok and Nike is pretty significant in terms of width and also in terms of length. So this is something you have to take into consideration as well. Always take your socks and any orthotics you have with you to a fitting. That way they can get your shoe size fitted perfectly. And lastly, visit a specialty store. Like the Running Room will help you find a pair of shoes. You don't actually have to buy it from them unless they have a good deal on, but they will help you fit that as well. Right now running shoes are hard to get because, hey, we can't go shopping in stores. But I do know that some of the running rooms are doing curbside fittings and buying of shoes, which is pretty cool as well. And they helped me out a few weeks ago getting a pair of shoes, which was awesome. Lastly, replace your shoes every 400 to 800 kilometers. That's important. Don't keep running with the same pair of shoes. All right. Running shoes, last thing for Learn to Run, and that'll get you started this week, and then you can investigate into the program later on. Like I said at the beginning, starting next Monday, your program 2 to 3 times a week. Your first week, you're going to run for 2 minutes. you're going to walk for 4. So you do need to take a stopwatch with you, whether it's your phone, whether it's something on your wrist, or whether it's through the music. All right, week 2, 3 minutes and 3 minutes. So 3-minute walk, 3-minute run. And that's how you're going to build your program. This is the basic Learn to Run program that every organization kind of uses. So you can always look it up on the internet, or you can sign up for a program and I will email it to you next Monday. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do have any questions, feel free to DM, or you can email me, kimberly.beno@senecacollege.ca. That information's on the website. Remember, you're registering for the Learn to Run program. It is email program starting next Monday, where you're going to get a couple of emails a week with all of this information and more. You can register at our website, senecasting.ca, or click the link in our bio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be safe out there, have some fun running, and take care.